anger, a punishment we give to ourselves for someone else's mistake. Cool down before you speak, because when you blurt, you hurt. Welcome to the second workshop of anger, brought to you by Building Spiritual Muscles. Without a moment's delay, let's get cracking. Over to you, Pooja.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning to the overseas. Sat Shri Akal, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Ram Ram Ji. So we are back today again. And what is our actual today topic is just the continuity of anger. But today we are going to discuss a little bit on the spiritual side. What does the spiritual say? What does the Granth say? So I would like to discuss a little bit on the spiritual side. And you will note that whatever today the people are discussing, let it be a psychologist, let it be a psychiatrist, or let it be any doctors who are talking about anger management, somewhere they are connecting to Hinduism or the other religion scriptures. Spirituality no touch te kari re. Only that the language is different. So now what does spirituality say? In Hinduism, what is anger? They say anger is a sin. Their Granth say that anger is a sin. The Mahabharata, the Adi Parva and the Vana Parva, these are all the Shastras. They say that anger is the root cause of all destructions of mankind. They just simply say that it is a destruction, is a root destruction of mankind, anger is, and they consider it as a sin. They say that angry man can destroy, can murder, can commit a sin, can insult. There are many things a man who is angered, he can do it. So the Hinduism say that they are sinners. Now, what do the other Granths say? Other Granths also have. They say that anger is an energy which is already there in you. जैसे कि कहते हैं ना पंच तत्व साडा शरीर बनया होया with the 5 elements, these also are already there, but it is going to be constructive or destructive is साडे ऊपर है. It's our choice. It is there. So he says that if anger becomes destructive, now what did we do? When does it become destructive? When it is open aggression or it is passive. When it is passive anger or it is an aggression anger, then it becomes destructive. It becomes destructive. Now this is what the Granth says. The Granth says, you have to kabu karna pega, so control karna pega. The control kinch karna pega, ki you have to make them into a constructive, not a destructive, make it into a constructive. Now, when we make anger into a constructive, according to the scriptures, they say it is called the Bir Ras. Anger turns into Bir Ras. Simple English, we say that when we take a stand, as we had done on the third anger was what? It was assertive anger. It was called the healthy anger. It was the anger where we can control, where the anger becomes our slave. We don't become the slave. In the first 2 anger, that is the passive or the aggression, they are destructive and we become the slave of that anger. And the anger makes us dance. But the Granth says you have to control it. You have to control it. When you control it, then you can make it into assertive anger. That is the third anger which we have done. That is a healthy anger. And this anger is what? It can definitely repair relationships. It can make an atmosphere better. In this, we are not the slave of the anger, but the anger is our slave. Manu jitni degree chahiye main kar lavangi. For example, I know about it and I am going to do it. Manu pata mera gussa aa raha hai. I can watch anger is coming. Now it is up to me that anger becomes my slave or I become the slave. If I want him to be my slave, then I will tune it. I will watch it. I'll use my knowledge. And I say it does not have to go high. My voice has to be very perfect. I have to use good language. I have to have patience. So what happens? I am regulating that anger into assertive anger, and then I put my thing across to the people. This is what the scriptures are telling. Other religions, they tell us that you can make the anger as your slave. And simple word in English, you say that when you take a stand, it is called the assertive anger, because this is a healthy anger where you have control over yourself, you have the patience, you have the knowledge, you are a good listener, you are flexible, you have value for relationship, you can repair the thing. So this is a healthy anger. Now, other how it says that if anger is destructive, then what happens? This anger is just like a fire element. We have the 5 elements in our body. Anger is a fire element. Now, when you see, you go out in the, nowadays it is very hot. The heat is there. That heat dries up all the ponds. Same thing in our body. When this anger increases, the element of fire increases. When it increases, the water of the body, when they say 72% of the body water also starts, what happened? Dehydrating. When they dehydrate, then we run to the doctors. Then we say, put drip, ab humko glucose chadao, dehydration ho gayi. But this is what happened because we in the Hindi, they say, ek chandal hai. It is a demon. Kyun chandal hai? Because it dries up the water, it dehydrates the thing, makes the man dirty, starts smelling over there. And then what happens? This is going to become rogi. Granth says that this man becomes rogi. It becomes sick. Water is dried up. There is a lot of filth. There's a lot of smell there. So what happens? It becomes rogi. Now, when this man becomes rogi, they say that this anger is having a lot of a full army. You can imagine anger does not come alone. So the man's subconscious mind खाली anger नहीं है, उसकी पूरी फौज नाल है की धनु नजर नहीं आंदा, खानु खाली क्रोध ही नजर आ रहा है. But underneath the current, there is a lot of other vices. All are smelling and stinking. So what are they? They call them the demons. एक कहते हैं एक चोर है. So what does the Gurbani say? Panj chor, a thug again. So what happens? We have to believe that these are the demons only when it is aggression or passive anger. That is a destructive anger. Now, if it is a passive or a destructive anger, then what happens? We start sowing seeds. The Granth says you start sowing seeds into your subconscious mind. When the seeds are there, then definitely the fruits are going to be there. So what they say, that this army of vices, along with the ego, the father is always there. Wo uddhar baitha hai. Ego is sitting there, very subtle, sitting down and watching, because his army is fighting. They're fighting the battles. So the ego is sitting, and what does the ego do? Along with all the knowledge, oh, har indriya no, ek destructive part with la jayega. Because the anger is aggression or passive. So destructive with la jayega. अखा गलत देखन गियां, गलत सुनन गियां, गलत बोलन गियां, पैर गलत जगह ते जान गया. Everything it takes, because the ego is doing its work very beautifully. And we are just watching that the anger is there. But they say, nahi, the father is the ego. Father is the home dheerag rog hai. So what happens when these 5, you can say the 5 demons, or we can today take just the anger. What does it do? It gets all the fruits. Now, how is the fruit? What does the scripture say? Jadu man rogi ho gaya, man diseased ho gaya, man then the smell aa gayi, mail pai gayi. So the first thing what happened, the fruit comes where? Onto our body. That is the seed inside. The first fruit comes on where? Onto our body. Sade loga, the organs are going to be diseased. There are going to be lot of problem on the physical level. There's going to be a lot of problem in the endocrine system. There will be a lot of problem on the skin. There will be a lot. Have you done whenever these things come? What happens? It works on the skin. That is why we say when you have these pimples and outbursts of all these rashes or what, these are all outbursts of anger. So These are all the fruit. Remember this is the fruit. सब तो पहले निशानी होती है कि क्रोध दा fruit आ गया. That means the diseases ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, they are actually giving us a message that there is anger inside, even if it is permissive. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, but ਉਹ anger ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਅੰਦਰ. ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ? ਉਹ ਬੀਜ ਤੇ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਦਾ fruit ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਤੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ. Now, when it comes onto the body, it destroys the body. Next, what does the scripture say? They destroy the relationship. ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਤਨੇ ਵੀ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੌੜਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ. ਕਿਉਂ? ਅੰਦਰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਹੈ, ਗੁੱਸਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਖਾਨਦਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਇਆ. ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਖਾਨਦਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੈਠਾ ਉਹ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ, ਇਹ ਮਿਲੀ ਭਗਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਇੱਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਹੋਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ. ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਹੋਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ. So what happened? ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਇਹ anger ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ comes into you can say into the destructive anger or the aggression anger, then what happened? We just lash out. We are lashing out, we become violent, we become destructive. We have destroyed our body, we are destroying the others also, we are destroying our relationship also. So the Granth says that these two angers, the destructive angers, are going to destroy us, is going to totally destroy us. Now, why? Because again, we come down to the same thing, that we have broken from our real identity. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਟੁੱਟ ਗਏ. And we have gone with all these negative energies, we are traveling towards the real life. Slowly from inside, it is going out. We are going from real to real life. So when it goes from real to real life, what have we to do? And when we are in the real life, when we are actually playing, we are just playing with it, and the whole life of us is being controlled by these vices. Now, when we see, you will see over here also, what does it say? As yesterday someone told, yes, that means when you're practicing this, you're automatically going to the soul conscious. Yes, absolutely. This is what we are trying to learn on this platform, that we have come to know what is the real life. Now we want to go to the real life. So what happens? We're going from body conscious to the soul conscious. Now, when we're going from the body conscious to the soul conscious, now you just see how this beautiful chart has been made. On the screen, you can see how one by one, all, yes, you see. On the other side, I would like you to put the whole chart, yes. Whole chart. I would like you to put the whole chart, Dimple, because they can see it side by side, how the journey goes from Manmukh to Gurmukh. Just put the whole chart, yes. It will be a very nice journey, that how we are going, traveling one real to real. This is our aim of this session, that we have to travel from real to real. That means we have to travel from body conscious to soul conscious. Sanu hun anger da sara pata lag gaya. But agar ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਬੂ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ, I will be giving you the tools. If we start working on it, then you see how in this chart we are traveling. We are just traveling. So now you just watch and see. What are we doing? We are coming from real life to real life. That means from body conscious to soul conscious. That means, in other words, what do the Shastras say? Manmukh to asi Gurmukh honde ja rahe hain. We are working, managing anger management, how to get over it. Slowly, Manmukh to Gurmukh we are becoming. Asi duhagan to suhagan bande ja rahe hain. Asi darkness to light ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ hain. This is what the scriptures say. Then ਅਸੀਂ ਪਤਾਲੀ ਤਲ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਕਾਸ਼ੀ ਤਲ. ਪਾਤਾਲੀ means which is under ਬੜੇ ਨੀਵੇਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ. ਆਕਾਸ਼ੀ means very elevated thoughts. So what happens? ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਤਾਲੀ ਤਲ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਕਾਸ਼ੀ ਤਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. Then we are having one ਅਗਿਆਨਤਾ to ਗਿਆਨ. ਅਗਿਆਨਤਾ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਅਸੀਂ from death to life. ਅਸੀਂ real life ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਰੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ. ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ. And what is happening now? We are traveling towards the real life, where actually ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਾਗਰਤ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. Where again we are again awakening. We are awakening to what? We are awakening to the light, awakening on the ਗਿਆਨ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ. ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਬਣਦੇ ਜਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਹਾਗਣ ਬਣਦੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. And what are we? We are traveling from body conscious to soul conscious, and automatically from real life to real life. This is our main mission, that what we are taking a session, that how we have to travel. So before I start with the thing, I would like to tell you that whenever you see anyone who is actually very angry and having an aggression or having a permissive anger, don't hate those people. Always try to see another thing behind, and then think between the lines. What is it? That angry person shows what? That he's very weak. He's very weak. To get his work done, everything, he is just putting up this anger. And this anger is just the tip of the iceberg. So never have any judgment or blame game or any type of apathy. I want that you should be having an empathy, a spiritual empathy for them, because it shows that they are weak. Then what is it? They need help. They're actually calling for help. But we do not understand. ਅਸੀਂ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਕਰਕੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਤਕਾਰ ਕੇ, ਅਸੀਂ judgment pass ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ हैं. But now bring another vision. When a person is angry, he shows that he is weak, he needs help, and he shows that I am wounded. Because जितने भी साडा क्रोध आ गया, we are wounded. जितने साडे अंदर lust आ गई, we are wounded. जितने अंदर साडे अंदर एक लोभ आ गया, we are wounded. जितने भी कोई भी vices अंदर आंदे, we label them as wounded. So my humble request to all of you, please bring this vision. Please bring this vision. Even if it is a lust, this vision has to be same for all, because all the negative energies are actually the wounds of that person. And how do we practice it? Definitely have healthy food, do exercise, and enough of sleep. Definitely anything. But you have to learn to have self-care also. Practice self-care. We have never learned to have a self-care. We have never learned to love ourselves. We have never learned to love ourselves. We have to learn to love ourselves. When we are learning to love ourselves, means we are going towards the real life. We are going into the soul conscious. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਮਾਰਗ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ, when we take all the rabbi guns, ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ the positive energy ਅਸੀਂ abide ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, that means we are loving ourselves. We are loving ourselves. If you're full of love, you can give love. If you don't have love, you don't even learn to love yourself. How can you love others? How can you heal others? When you love yourself, you are healing yourself, and automatically the world is being healed. So first thing that you have to learn to love yourself. Now, I'm going to give you some tools, which now you will see on the screen one by one. We'll take the topic. Now, what does it say? What does the tool? Yes, you can come onto the screen with the full plan. Okay. Now you can see over here how to control anger, the tools. What are the tools? Now you will see, look at the impact of anger. Look at the impact of anger. पहले तो सानू जदों गुस्सा आ जाता है ना, उस तो बाद तुसी थोड़ा चेक करो. Just go leave it on the first. Yes. Look at the impact of anger. Anger ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਕਰ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਾਂ, ਗੁੱਸਾ ਕਰ ਬੈਠੇ, ਵਾਇਲੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ, look at the impact. ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, how I'm destroying myself, how my attitude is changing, how my families are being affected, mere surroundings can destroy ho rahe. Watch. Usually when people are angry, they don't. But now we are learning how to control the anger. We're trying to manage the anger management. So what is it? Look at the impact of anger. आज मैं बहुत गुस्सा किया सब कुछ, then I don't bother. But now I'm going to learn कि मैं बहुत गुस्सा किया है, हाय मेरे शरीर में क्या होया, हाय मेरा blood pressure भी ऊंचा हो गया, I'm feeling having heart throbbing, my breath is going up, and then I'm seeing all सारे रोज के बैठे हैं because I spoke a lot about it. So see the impact. When you see the impact, then what happens? Aim for regulation, no repression. ਅਸੀਂ usually क्या कहते हैं, गुस्सा आ गया तो ਅਸੀਂ अंदर ही दबा छोड़ दें. अच्छा पानी पी ले, वॉक पर चले गए, चलो खत्म होते हैं, अंदर ही कर लेता. नो, डू नॉट रिप्रेस इट, डू नॉट अंदर दबाने की कोशिश ना करो. एम फॉर रेगुलेशन. एम फॉर रेगुलेशन. रेगुलेशन मीन अगर मेरा has gone till the height of anger, that is, you can say aggression, opposite, we have to bring it down to what? Assertive. We have to regulate it and bring it to a constructive anger. So how do we do it? We regulate it and we don't try to dabaw fire. Now how? Slowly, one by one, we are going to take the step how we are going to do it. So the first is what? That you identify your feelings. You identify your feelings. Now, how do you identify your feeling? When you have anger coming up, look at it, watch inside you. Anger aaya hai. अगर होने से ध्यान नहीं देता तो ये हुन नेक्स्ट पे चला जाएगा, परमिसिव चला जाएगा, फिर वो चला जाएगा एग्रेशन पे. So first look at it and label it. Which degree is it? And accept it. Yes, mera anger is mera anger. Don't put a blame game and take a deep breath. Now here I will show you 2 of the videos, very short videos. Look at the 2 videos. Okay.
Anger or anxiety. This can help you become more aware of your emotional state. Practice identifying and labeling your emotions as they arise. Try to name the specific emotion you are feeling, such as happiness, sadness, anger, or anxiety. This can help you become more aware of your emotional state. Practice
So this is what we do with the children. We bring these small cards and tell them, identify it. A person is angry, मुंह लटके होया वे, or anger in the eyes, हंसता पे है. So these are the way, you have to identify and you label them. When you will label them, then what happens after labeling? Accept कि yes, मेरे अंदर anger है. And then take a deep breath. Hanji. You can take the other one. Yes, yes.
4 mindful moves to release stress and anger. Stomping, arm swings, pillow throw, big exhales. And if all else fails, scream into a pillow. 4 mindful moves to release stress and anger. Stomping, arm swings, pillow throw, big exhales. And if all else fails, scream into a pillow. 4 mindful moves to release.
Okay. So what do you see? This is some of the therapies, when we go to a psychologist or to a psychiatrist or some therapy they say, take out all your frustration. How you channel it? You just talk out your frustration on the pillow, or you go for some gymming, or you go for a big run, or you go for some sports, you channel it. But now it says that this is the outward what the body is doing. Now, what does the thing say in the next point? What does the next point say? You have to use your knowledge. Work with the help of knowledge. This is very, very important for us. You have to work with your knowledge. And what does the knowledge says? Whatever we have been sharing on this week, whatever we have been doing from the last 4 days, 5 days, we're doing, this is all the knowledge that we are actually just sharing with you. Now, we have to make this knowledge into wisdom. How? Whenever a situation comes in front of you, anger will come, but you have to now learn how to tune it. Be courageous to face every situation and see that you do not go into permissive or into aggression anger. You become what? Now you'll go into taking a stand. That is assertive anger, taking a stand. The knowledge says that you're working with the knowledge now. If I take assertive and I take a stand, and in that what happened? There's going to be no blame game. There's going to be no judgment. It's going to be unconditional love. I am going to understand the other person's emotions. I am going to listen to that person. I'm going to sit across. I'm going to save my relationship. So what happens? This all knowledge, helps us to control that anger and change the permissive or the aggression anger into assertive anger that is a healthy anger. This is how you can control. Without knowledge, there is no way. There is no way out. So now again, here we'll be showing you another video.
देखो यार, एक मैं फेलर का और एक रीजन लेके आया हूँ कि ब्लेम गेम। देखो, दूसरों को ब्लेम नहीं करना है। मैं छोटा सा एग्जांपल बताता हूँ। देखिए, अगर 8 बजे आपकी क्लास थी, सर लोग जो होते हैं 8:10 पे आए, 10 मिनट वेस्टेज गए ना। देखो, दो टाइप के स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं। एक तो है कि सर को कोसेंगे, सर को कर्स करेंगे, सर लेट आए लेट आए लेट आए, और उसी में बिजी रहेंगे। 8:10 के बाद सर आएंगे ना तो कुछ नहीं समझ पाएंगे। पर अच्छे लड़के वो होते हैं जो 10 मिनट का एडवांटेज उठाते हैं, क्योंकि सर 10 मिनट लेट आए ना तो कल की रिवीजन करेंगे, या आगे का पढ़ेंगे, या जो पढ़ा हुआ है उसको रिकॉल करेंगे, रिवीजन करेंगे, वो लड़के आगे जाते हैं। इसलिए बता रहा हूँ, जीवन में कभी भी कोसने वाला मत बनिए, काम करने वाला बनाइए। सीधी सी बात है, बारिश आ रही ना तो बारिश क्यों आ रही चिल्ला के नहीं होगा, छाता लगाइए और आगे बढ़िए। काम करना आवश्यक है, ना कि उस बैरियर के बारे में बार बार बात करना। धन्यवाद।
So you can see in life, this is what we are doing. Aren't we doing the same thing? Always blaming, 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 and passing judgment. And we are stuck there. We are stuck there. When we get stuck there, how much of that dirt is getting into the subconscious mind? How much of it? So we have to learn these things. These are small tools that you don't have to get stuck there. Move on, move on. Stop these blame games. Throughout life, we have been blame game, and these memories are already been totally into the subconscious mind. We're carrying it from years down. So now we have to learn to let go rather than blaming and all. We need knowledge. We need knowledge. We need the scriptures. We need the scriptures. This is where we need it. This is where the grunts come. They're giving us the knowledge, but we do not have the time. And even if we have the time, we don't have the time to understand it. And even if we have the time to understand it, we don't have the time to practice it. Because we simply say, jisse beeta hai wohi jaane, kaun jaane, peer par aaya. Then we come with an excuse. So we are sharing all this because this knowledge is very, very important and is a tool. The knowledge is a tool of how to control our anger. So now we come to the next. What does it say? That when we have the knowledge, now we've got the knowledge. Now from the knowledge, we have come to know that there is an undercurrent. There is an undercurrent. We've already done yesterday, or the whole army coming. The tip of the iceberg was what? Anger. And what was under the current? There were so many other vices. Puri fauj baithi si thalle. But sano anger nazar aaya. But if we have the knowledge, that is why you should be very well read. You should be knowing and been practicing it. So when we come to know, oh, anger to uppar hai, usde niche te bada kuch hai. Ye anger aaya kyun? Somewhere it has been neglected. Somewhere or the other, he has not been listened. Somewhere or other, he has been shamed. Or somewhere he must have been disrespected. Or somewhere there must have been a partiality. Something or the other there is under the current. This we can only come to know when we have the knowledge. So the tool, the biggest tool is our knowledge. So we have to see the other current from where all this is coming. Now, when we have the knowledge, we have come to know about the army that is underneath the current. Now we start doing our self-counseling. We start doing our self-counseling. Now, what is our self-counseling? We are the best counselors. We are the best counselors. In the counseling, we are introspecting. When an anger comes, we do not do an action with a reaction. We do an action with a response. Response means taking the responsibility, building up your ability with the help of the knowledge, and you're introspecting yourself. Ki anger aaya, kyun aaya? So what is the reason? Why am I blaming? All two people are not the same. Why I have so much of expectations and all? I cannot change anyone. I can only change myself. This is all the knowledge that is saying. So when this happens, we are introspecting ourselves. When we are introspecting ourselves, then what happened? It says that this thing is actually going to, we are actually counseling ourselves. This is actually counseling ourselves. So now we have to, daily basis, which we are doing introspection. Very simple word, you can all understand. We are doing Naam Simran. Simple word, jat put language which ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ, ਇਹ ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਹੈ. There is no blame game, there is no judgments, total surrender, let go, move on, understand the laws of the nature. Understand that if you are full of love, you can give love. If you're full of bitterness, you can give bitter. So then learn to love. learn to forgive, learn to ask for forgive. ये सारा ते नाम सिमरन ही ते है. This is the knowledge. एक खाली वाली किताबी गल है. ये तद wisdom बन जाएगी when we will work on it. जैसे we say in the khand, the second khand is the ज्ञान खंड. ये हुन बड़ी ज्ञान दी गल्लां हो रही हैं. बड़ा ज्ञान आ गया. आज सारे ਨੂੰ पता लगे जी ज्ञान हो गया. What happened? ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ stuck ਹੋ ਗਏ. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ stuck ਹੋ ਗਏ. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ stuck ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, तो what happened? It starts smelling. Why? Because manu gyan bada ho gaya hai. But without the Guru's gyan, you cannot even move. But we are not supposed to get stuck. We have to move forward. From the gyan khand, we have to come into the sharam khand. That is the second, where we are going to work. We have to work, implement. And how do we implement? Then we will see that of what Guru da gyan litta, and now we are converting the knowledge into wisdom. Yes, we are converting into wisdom. Now, the wisdom says what? Now we are introspecting. See all. Naam Simran. No one can make me angry. No one. ਅਸੀਂ blame game ਤੋਂ ਨਿਕਲੀ ਹੈ. ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਪੁੱਤਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਸਾਗਾ. ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਦਮੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ. We keep the blame that they are the cause of my anger. अरे cause anger is already inside me. बल्कि they have helped you. A trigger has come and the trigger that anger ने छोड़ you. बहुत अपने आप को शाबाशी ना दो. क्रोध के अंदर भरा हुआ है. जब तक ट्रिगर नहीं आए तो क्रोध बाहर नहीं निकलेगा. हुन क्रोध बाहर निकले. Are you that smart enough to regulate it? Are you smart enough to regulate it? And if you are able to regulate it from aggression to permissive, permissive to assertive, you won the game. So what happens? You are understanding. This is step by step. एक गुरु का ज्ञान होता है. This is spirituality. So then, and make it अपने पल्ले बन लो that no one can make you angry. This anger is already there inside you. And it is you who have to find it is constructive or destructive. Constructive or destructive only you can make when someone triggers from outside. कोई trigger करता है तो you become violent. कोई trigger करता है, you are permissive, you cannot speak. And कोई trigger करता है, and then with practice you say, no, I cannot destroy my body, I cannot destroy my relationship. I have to take a stand. And with all those points we have discussed in the assertive anger, use it, and what happened? Either we eradicate the anger or we make it constructive. Now, what is the next way of the next tool? This is empowering yourself. The next point says, empower yourself. What have you been doing in the last so many days is we are empowering yourself. This is called the human empowerment. Human empowerment for this reason, because every person, let it be a male or let it be female, all have these negative impulses inside them. So when we are working and trying to actually work and manage this anger, we are empowering ourselves. How? With the knowledge. This is the knowledge which we are sharing on this platform. And this empowerment is how? Naam, oneness, Jyot, Sarup. Why? When we get connected to the Naam, when we get connected to the oneness, when we get connected to Mantu, Jyot, Sarup, we are getting connected to it. That means we are abiding by all the Rabbi guns. We have started walking on that path. Asi real to real with ja rahe hain. What happened? Asi apne aap nu empower kar rahe hain. Sade spiritual muscles are becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. Then when it becomes stronger and stronger, baharu kuch bhi trigger aa jaye, asi ekdam sehj vich. It makes no difference to us. We always are in the form of spiritual empathy for people. This is where we all have to reach. Now, whatever we have spoken, the last point says that this is an inspiration and aspiration. Jinhane bhi laws of the universe kita hai na, it's how all this what we have been talking is a type of an inspiration. It is an inspiration and it inspires. Inspiration inspires us, and we have the aspiration that yes, we have to do it now. We have to do it. Why? How are we inspired by? The 21 sub-laws, the Rabbi Gun or the superfood. We already know that these 21 sub-laws are the Rabbi Guns. And यही Rabbi Gun, जो positive energy, यही superfood है. सानू कितने भी जान दी लोड नहीं है. सानू law, जितना भी knowledge आया है, is inspiring us making us alert कि superfood साढ़े अंदर ही है. That is my core. That is my Rabbi Gun. That are the 21 sub laws. वही नाम है, वही ज्योत स्वरूप है, वही oneness है. मैंने किसी को उधार मांगने की लोड़ नहीं, मेरे अंदर ही है. But I was not informed. I did not have that knowledge. So when I have got this knowledge, now I'm inspired. And then I give myself space and digest this food. I have to digest it. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਹ ਖਾਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ. ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਾ ਗੰਦ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ, ਫਾਸਟ ਫੂਡ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ what happened to fast food? ਸਰੀਰ ਵੀ ਖਰਾਬ, ਦਿਮਾਗ ਵੀ ਖਰਾਬ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦੁਖੀ ਕੀਤਾ. But then when we go on to the superfood, had the protein, look at the dietitians give us superfood. Why? To make a healthy body. So also inside a body, this fast food is what? All this negative area. Anger is a fast food which destroys our body. And what do we want? We take this superfood, which is the Rabbi Gun, which are the 21 sub laws. This is the sub. And this is inside me. Ida Malik mera, is store mere ko liya hai. But I was not aware. Now I'm being inspired. So now I'll take this food and digest this food. Which food? The Naam Simran. And when I start having this, then what happened? Don't stay away. I will just show you 2 more of it and then we'll conclude this. Hanji. 2 of the videos.
If you feel anger, you feel anger. If you feel hurt, you feel hurt. If you go through what you go through, you go through what you go through. Don't stay there because it's ruining your life. If you feel anger, you feel anger. If you feel hurt, you feel hurt. If you go through what you go through, you go through what you go through. Don't stay there because it's ruining your life.
Channel your anger. One thing about anger is that it fills you up with a lot of energy, a bit like Lord Shiva's Tandav dance. If you're angry because you fought with your boyfriend, then go out for that long overdue run in the fresh air. Use your anger energy for some self-care. Channel your anger. One thing about anger is that it fills you up with a lot of energy, a bit like Lord Shiva's Tandav dance. If you're angry because you fought with your boyfriend, then go out for that long overdue run in the fresh air. Use your anger energy for some self-care. Channel your anger.
So now, what does this depict? These 2 videos. Usually when we are angry, we don't move on. Angry ho gaya, theek hai, now move on. But we hold on to it. We hold on to this incident, and with those memories, we are holding on and on and on. We have to move on. Now, how do we move on? With whatever we have discussed. Counsel yourself, use the tool, take all that knowledge, turn the knowledge into wisdom, work on it, manage your anger, move on. Don't hold on to those memories. Don't hold on to those incidents. Move on. And definitely, the next video was telling you that if you are angry, you are dancing like the Tandav of Shiva. Happens. Isi karke kehte chandal hai. So what have you to do? Channel this energy. Go out for a long walk, go out for a gym, go out for your sports, that's fine. But even then in the long run, you have to finish the anger from the root. You have to work till the root. So for that, you need the knowledge, you need the Guru's Gyan. I hope I've been very clear about it. Any doubts, we'll take your questions onwards. Hanji. Hanji Arvinder.
Round 2 of anger was indeed full of tools and takeaways, how to build your spiritual muscles and keep anger at bay. So before we open our session for inputs and queries, a humble request to let's keep our questions very short and crisp so that every participant gets an opportunity, and also let's respect our time slot of 7 to 8 p.m. Thank you so much. We also have a quiz that we will take today in the last 10 minutes. Yes. Anji Rajwanji, you can unmute yourself.
जी मनुष्य सारे दुनिया मानसिक रोग
Can't hear you, Rajwan Singh, cannot hear you.
Rajwanji, please sort out your network issue at your end.
सारा मनुष्य का मानसिक रोग बन गया है।
Hmm.
रोग के भी सारे पासे दुखी है, कोई सुखी नहीं है। ਇਹਦਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਰੋਗ ਹੈ ਹਉਮੈ, ਜੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸੈਨਾਪਤੀ ਹੈ।
Hmm.
ਤੇ ਕਈ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਡੈਫੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ। what you say you are, which you are not, and you support by heart to convince others. जो तू
नहीं,
वो तुझे जो तू नहीं है, जो तू सारे ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਤੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਨਵਿੰਸ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਹਾਂ।
Hmm. That's what we are doing in life. That's what we are doing. That is why we say that we are wearing masks.
तो ਇਹਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਉਪਾਅ ਹੈ, ਨਾਮ ਸਿਮਰਨ। मेरा कहत गुरु गोविंद, नाम सिमरन में सब कुछ होएगा। तो 10वें पातशाह ने तो क्लियर किया ना, साच कहूँ कहूँ सुन लो ये सब है, जिन ही प्रेम कियो तिन ही प्रभु पायो। अगर
Yes.
प्रेम करो तो सारे रोग दूर हो जाएंगे।
Thank you, Rajan.
मंत्र है।
Anji, anyone else have any question?
Let's all give our inputs. Which tool works for us? How do we get rid of our anger?
Yes, yes, yes.
Anji,
Anji, Anji.
I have one question, Didi.
Yes, yes.
It's just like I wanted to know, when you get a trigger from some person from the family, like we should keep a distance, like from that person. Nee, but like the thing is, how you say you should not give a reaction but response.
Response.
So should we know कि repeatedly a banda man trigger कर ही रहे, so should we keep a distance from that person in a way कि वैसे relationship should be fine, but you should be at a distance in a way कि थोड़ा सा avoid किया जाए.
See what happens, because hali sada apna aura hi bahut kamzor hai, you know. It affects us. It affects us. So then usually we say shrink for some time, ताकि but खाली shrink करके avoid नहीं करना, shrink ताकि we can work and make our aura stronger.
Okay.
किधर तक तुसी उसको avoid करोगे? Maybe it is a house member also.
Yeah, that's
not avoid. So what happens? We just shrink for a time, but in that time, please try to build up your aura. Try to build up that अपने अंदर जरा मन है ना, उसको तगड़ा करो, अपने spiritual muscles strong करो. Then again you go and you see that yes, I can now do it. I can. But remember one thing, bacha, that when we are avoiding, when a person is triggering, because you are taking the shit. Remember one thing. You are taking the shit. You are not supposed to. This is where we say assertive anger has to come.
Where you say draw a line.
You draw a line, you take a stand, you put your words across it, you understand the value of the relationship, you don't want to destroy the relationship, you put across. But usually we do not put across. We do not take a thing. We don't make anger as a healthy anger. It is called the Bir Ras. Gurbani tells us about the Bir Ras.
True. So like we distance ourselves to build up the muscles in a way.
If you take up a distance, that is just to build up your own muscles. ये नहीं कि कर लेता है तो फिर पीछे जाकर ऐसी गल्ला कर दे रही है, ओ इसने ही no. When we withdraw, when we shrink, means mentally we are shrinking so as to make our own aura very strong, our spiritual muscles strong.
Right. Thank you.
Anji, God bless you, bache.
And you have not logged in by your real name. I'm sorry to address you as Samsung, but yes, you can unmute yourself.
No, sorry. Thanks, madam. Actually, my name is Padma. Madam ji, actually 2 questions I have in continuation with the last question. One question is, yes, you need to set boundaries, which is very true. But people take advantage, like the last person mentioned, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She said that, you put, like, once you have said like this is what is expected and this is what is, harming you, but repeatedly you cannot avoid encounters with that person. For example, in a workplace scenario, like professionally, some people will keep on taking advantage of their authority and all that, okay, position. So you can't do anything over there because you are, they are your superiors, right? So you can't, I mean, you cannot say anything, you cannot do anything about it. But then you have to get yourself harmed because you are in need, you need to earn money. Okay, it's as simple as that.
Okay. Okay. So what's your question, bacha? Definitely in this narrow and all, you cannot change anyone. You cannot change. You can only change yourself. So if someone is keep on triggering you, as a boss keeps on triggering you, you have to see what are your priorities. First, that you are earning money from them. You need the work. Okay, that is okay. I have to do it. I need the money.
Long period of time, then it can come out in a bad way, right? So what to do? Like, these are my two questions. First of all, with pent up emotions, and when, despite of drawing boundaries, when the other person is just not going to respect because they are in authority and you can't escape that environment, right?
Okay, so that means your pent up, first thing is how to work with your pent up energy that is inside you. Without Naam Simran, there is no way out. I'm making it very, very clear. You have to understand all the laws of the universe, because the laws of the universe equals to God. The laws of the universe equals to God. If the laws of the universe says that whatever you reap, you are going to get the compensation and the correspondence you are getting it. This is the law unto itself, which is not going to change, because this is God, and God is the one who never changes. You cannot change. So these are the things which you have to understand, these laws. Take this knowledge, work inside, introspect, put a dialogue to yourself, counsel yourself. Then only you can put your those pent up energies, you can transmute them. You can transmute them. And I'm telling you very clear, yes, there are many therapies and doing, but the highest tool is your spiritual tool. No one will change for you. You have to change yourself. This is your choice. Now, do you want to live like a king or you want to live like a rotten vegetable? That's your choice. Now you say, no, I don't want to, because harming me, my body, I'm not able to work, I'm not able to do the thing. Now I want to change. Then you will have to use the spiritual tools to work and get rid of these pent up energies. First thing. Second, if you are in an office or somewhere the boss keeps on, but you cannot do anything because you have to earn money, then if you work on your pent up energy, then it'll make no difference working in that office. Let him do anything, because that is his karma, that is his journey, that is his way, that is his thought, that is his attitude, which you cannot do anything. But if you have finished off with your pent up energy, then you go anywhere. Maybe in one office is happening, maybe you go to another office, that bosses are saying, so how many can you change? How many can you change? Rather than changing anyone, change yourself. When you're working on your pent up energy and all, then when the bosses and all do not change, then when you're working with the pent up energy with Naam Simran, automatically you are in peace. It makes no difference, because your man already is getting a dialogue that that person is okay. He's wounded, man. He's okay. He's sick. He needs help. He's doing all this bossing around and all. He wants attention and all. He wants to show people around, my power is there. It's okay. That's his way. It doesn't affect me. But this will come only if you finish off the pent up energy that is inside you. And to finish off the pent up energy, you can only do it with Naam Simran. Because Naam Simran will give you the full thesis, a story, a full theory before you start abiding with the positive energy. Hanji.
Yes, if there's any other inputs or any other queries from anybody. Yes, Rajwanti, can we keep it short? Yes. Unmute yourself.
Are there anyone who want to ask the questions? Is there some,
Anyone else a question?
Didi, I have one question if you can answer. Like,
Yes, come. Anji, bolo.
in short, Naam Simran means ke tusi ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ excite ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ like you start believing that or you start practicing ke this is my karmic account which is going on. I have to accept it. The way you say the fault lies with the sufferer.
Naam Simran cards I've already distributed all over.
Yeah,
But
that's
what does it say? First 5 lines are the knowledge, what the Guru tells us.
yeah.
Adda dosh na deyo kisi. First thing that comes. Today I'm blaming my boss. Today I'm blaming my parents. Today I'm blaming my Dharana Chitani. I'm blaming. But the Bani says, Dadda dosh na deyo kisi. The first and highest tool of the Granth says that do not blame. But then in that card, how it is very slowly forming. Why? Because why you're not supposed to blame? Why you're not supposed to blame? Why? Because what you sow, so shall you reap. Jo tu karega to wohi te milega. This is the law. Law of attraction is going to work. Law of attraction is also the law of the universe. Or ye tal hai. What you give, you're going to get it back. Law of attraction is also a law of the universe. So these all the laws and all are working side by side. Even agar asli log sanu us time vich dhyan bhi hove na, but the law kam karta rahega.
Right.
So this
So
Naam Simran
slowly
is-
we
Yes,
have
yes.
to we have to go there to that like soul consciousness and avoid all these things in a way.
Yes, absolutely. Don't overlook the 11 lines of the Guru Granth Sahib which I have given you in the Naam Simran. It is a power, it is a magic tool for you people. Hali log mande hi nahi hain. Karke te dekho. Transformations will take place. ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ 50% ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਹਾਲੀ ਡਾਊਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਪਏ ਹਾਂ ਪਰ ਮਨ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ with commitment consistency with the full commitment and courage do it and see it will manifest your auras will become huge.
Okay, thank you.
God bless you bacha.
Yes, moving on. Our last segment of our session. So while we take on a quiz, yes, Rajwanji, do you want to add anything?
I didn't ask a question. I gave an opportunity to the others.
Okay, thank you.
What about the hospitals? You should let the boss tell him what he wants, and you do it. They give a time. You have to make such a bill, false tests, and otherwise you won't be able. They won't keep you in your job. What about that? How can you continue?
Not clear, Rajvanshi. It's not clear. Your voice.
Rajwanji, please sort out the network issue at your end. It's not clear.
What about the hospitals?
Anji.
They give a ticket. You have to make so much contribution towards the bill, towards the false test, and so you have to make so much income for the year. What about that? How can one continue with that work?
See, the people who are working in the hospitals and they're making money and all, nothing is in our hand. So I will tell you, please look after yourself. In अस्पतालों से धक्के खाने वास्ते अंदर ही डॉक्टर बैठा अंदर ही दवाई बैठी अंदर ही सारे को prescription है. Why not work? Why get into the scam of these hospitals and all? They are doing. All the hospitals are doing. अपने आप का ध्यान रखो. Anji, Arvinder, you can continue.
Anji. So moving on, the quiz that we're about to take is not for any evaluation, it's just for self-evaluation. No way it's a judgment of your capabilities. So while we take the quiz, we can score ourselves 1 mark for each question and pat yourselves on the back if you get everything right. If no, there's still scope for learning, we move on, it's okay. Whatever you have not understood, please star the questions that we give for homework, any questions, any queries, and collectively we will take them up on our open forum day, which is on the 11th day at the end of our series. So we start with the quiz as the screen is being shared now. Yes, can we have the quiz, please? So you can write the answers, or you can just orally, while you're unmuted, you can just say the answer to yourself. So just is for self-evaluation. Albert Pinto ko gussa kyun aata? It was a very famous movie in the 90s. So based on that, let's start our anger. Yes, it's a warning because it's an acid emotion. So let's start our first question. What we did yesterday, what is anger? So of course, it's like an MCQ. We give you the options. What is anger? Give us a moment. I think we're too eager to display the answer before. Let's have the MCQs. Let's have the options and let the audience decide what the correct answer is. What is anger? In the meantime, see, you're given so much of extra time to think what is anger. By the time we put out the options, the MCQs. We did this yesterday. What is anger? Is there a glitch? Then you can share the PDF. So much of grace time to think. You can collect your thoughts on the type of questions that we're going to ask you. Anji. Koji, can you give some sound bites till we sort out our technical issues?
I think they must be all saturated with the anger. Must be saturated. You want to release all your anger. But I will tell you this one thing, that anger is actually, according to the scriptures, Chandal. Is actually a Chandal. Because गुस्से दे रू आ जांदे ना, कारां दे कार बर्बाद हो जांदे. कारां दे कार बर्बाद हो जांदे. Not only with lust, but also with anger. That is why you see these are the 5 headings. Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankar. ये headings हैं सारे. एक तो एक बलवान. अगर lust है, तो lust उल्टा है क्रोध. And lust is what? Desires. जो desire होंगे ना, साढ़े कितना desire होता है कि भाई साढ़े बच्चे चले जावन, साढ़े बच्चे the best of everything, the best of clothes, best. साढ़े अंदर इतना एक desire होता है का चीज दा. जदों this becomes into a lust, और ये चीज़ें पूरियां नहीं होंदियां ना, क्रोध आ जाता है. क्रोध आ जाता है. जदों ये सारे desire पूरियां नहीं होंदे ना, then क्रोध आ जाता है.
Chalo, this was a divine intervention where we have so much of time to collect our thoughts. So I think everybody should get 10 on 10 on this quiz now, because we give you so much of extra time. Okay, so what is anger? So we're giving you 3 MCQs, 3 options, and you choose the correct one. An emotion characterized by feelings of displeasure and hostility, a state of extreme happiness, or a mental disorder. What do you think, according to you, is anger? You can either write the answer or you can just call ABC, whatever is your choice. So enough time to think. Let's have the answer. What is anger? The next question will give you the answer. An emotion characterized by feelings of displeasure and hostility. I think this answer was displayed earlier. So everybody got it right. So don't count this, right? Okay, next question. True or false? Anger is always a negative emotion. Always. Is it true or is it false? Okay, pretty simple. Let's move on. The answer is given next. Yes, it is false. It's not always a negative emotion. What you just spoke about it today. It can be healthy too if we channelize it. Yes, next question. Which of the following is not a common physical response to anger? Not a common physical response. Increased heart rate, clenched fists, slow breathing, flushed face. What according to you is not, okay? Not a common physical response to anger. Anji, can we have the answer? Obviously, slow breathing, right? Slow breathing is because when you're angry, our breathing increases. We just saw that in the video shot. Okay, next question. True or false? Suppressing anger is always the best way to deal with it. Oh, is it? True or false? Should we suppress anger? What's the answer? Bilkul nahi. We should not suppress it. Channelize it. Great. Agla sawal. What is the purpose of anger? Is it to intimidate others, to express frustration and assert boundaries, or to gain sympathy from others? What is the purpose of anger? Ki matlab hai anger da? Yes, let's have the answer. Yes, to express frustration and to assert boundaries. That is the purpose of anger. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Which of the following is an unhealthy, unhealthy way to express anger? Talking calmly and assertively about your feelings, yelling and screaming at others, engaging in physical violence. There's a close tussle between two of the answers, so be careful what you choose. Unhealthy way to express anger. Which do you think is the right answer? Let's have the answer. Obviously, physical violence, engaging in physical violence. Yes. Though even yelling and screaming is unhealthy, but if we have an option of physical violence, then we choose that. What is the term for anger that is expressed in a passive-aggressive manner? We did types of anger yesterday. So what is the term for anger that is expressed in a passive-aggressive way? Frustration, resentment, or irritation? What, according to you, is the anger expressed in a passive-aggressive manner? Hanji, pretty simple if you remember. What's the answer? Resentment. If you were all attentive, we'll get it right. Yes, next one. How can you effectively manage your anger? This we have just done today. How can you effectively manage your anger? Taking deep breaths and counting to 10. Engaging in physical exercise. Seeking professional help if necessary. Or all of the above. How can we manage our anger effectively? Yes. And the answer is sab kuch, all of the above. Take deep breaths, physical exercise, seek professional help. Yes, next one. True or false? Anger can be a symptom of an underlying mental health condition. Underlying mental health condition, of which anger is just a symptom. Is it true? Is it false? It's true. We just spoke about the pyramid, how anger is just the tip of the emotion And underlying, we have a whole army. So yes. Which of the following is an example of a healthy, we just did that, healthy way to deal with anger? Take a break, practice relaxation technique, holding on to anger and dwelling on it, or blaming others for your anger. Very simple. Healthy way to deal with anger. Come on, we all know this. How do we deal with anger in a healthy way? Yes, take a break, practice relaxation techniques. So, who got 10 on 10? Anybody wants to disclose their scores? On anger,
Come on.
gussa?
All come onto the screen. Come onto the screen, please.
Good.
Yes, yes, I want to see all of you there.
Good,
Yes,
good. Don't
come
be shy in disclosing your scores. We are not judging
Wow,
anybody.
people
No
staying.
marks here, no
Okay.
certificates here. It's just for our evaluation.
Come on,
Excellent.
Priya.
Very
Come on,
good.
come on. One on, God,
Good,
please.
good.
I will
It takes you
cover
back
all
to
of you,
school,
please.
na? Tick, 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 karo. No negative marking, nothing. One answer right, 1 mark de do. Good.
All of you,
Very
please come
nice.
onto the screen. Please come onto the screen. I don't like black colors on the screen, man. I like to see all smiling faces.
Good.
Please all smile. All smile. Anger will run away. All anger will run away. Just smile. Yes, Priya, I can see you smiling. Come on, all of you. Yes, but yeah, that's it. That's it. I can see the smile.
Didi, I'm driving. I cannot make the screen on.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Please concentrate on your
okay.
driving.
So it doesn't matter. Keep on smiling when you're driving.
Keep smiling.
So Tony, keep on smiling. Okay. Kiran Arora, please come on. Please come on.
Sure.
Baljeet Kaur, I want all your smiles. All the anger is going to run away. It's just going to run away. Yes.
Yes, I'm also in the garden. So the walk kiti hai, to the yahan, I'm smiling.
Oh, smiling. Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, very good. So nice to see all of you smiling. Yes, Kiran, I can see you smiling. So how are you, my man? How are you, Kiran, ma'am? Good. So now I think you can manage your anger. You can and do it. You see anyone in that mood, please have a spiritual empathy for all of them. Please have a sympathy for them. They need help. They are wounded. And they're actually calling for the help. They are actually very, very weak people. If you keep yourself tuning this way, you will never have any grudges, never a blame game for these people. So I will now meet you tomorrow with another energy which enters through the gateway and destroys us. That is why these all gateways are open of us. We have to shut them. But then at the same time, we have to keep it open because we want the other knowledge also to enter. No, we want other thing to enter. But then what we are going to do tomorrow is going to be another energy that enters through this gateway and how it makes our real life and destroys our life. 99.2% people are living in the real life. ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, you know, ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਇਹ 50-100 ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ go out and see. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਥੱਲੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਏਗੀ. This is where the world is going. But anyway, handful of us are there. At least let us change the world. You change, the world changes with you. You change your inside, the outside world changes. So we meet tomorrow at exact 7 o'clock. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Ram Ram Ji. Bye bye. Love you. Love you all.